82% of cars die before 150,000 miles. My car blasted past 500,000 without a rebuild. The difference is not luck or brand loyalty. There are 17 brutal habits the auto industry buried under marketing lies and extended service intervals designed to fail right after warranty expiration. These are not tips. They are mechanical insurance policies that manufacturers do not profit from. Each one attacks a specific failure point engineered into modern cars. Habit number 5 alone prevents the most expensive component failure in your entire vehicle. Here's what separates 700,000-mile engines from scrapyard statistics. Habit 17. The Smart 3K oil rule destroys the biggest lie in your owner's manual. Those 10,000-mile oil change intervals exist for marketing, not engine protection. A tested extended intervals and found internal wear increases 40% compared to shorter cycles. Engines don't die from age. They die from dirty oil, circulating metal particles that score bearings and wear timing chains long before that 10,000 mark. The brutal truth: hot climates like Arizona demand thicker oils. 5W30 handles heat without breaking down. Cold regions like Minnesota need thinner winter weights. 0W20 flows faster on startup, preventing dry friction damage. Your manual gives the spec. Your climate and driving habits determine the interval. Fresh synthetic oil every 3,000 to 5,000 miles creates the single most effective barrier against sludge formation and timing chain wear. Replace the oil filter every single change. It traps contaminants. Your fresh oil shouldn't recirculate. Habit 16. The gearbox lifesaver routine exposes the lifetime fluid myth. Transmission fluid is not lifetime. It is until the warranty ends. Automatic transmissions operate between 175 degrees Fahrenheit and 220 degrees Fahrenheit. Every 20-degree increase above that range cuts fluid lifespan in half. Heat breaks down the additives that protect clutches and keep seals healthy. 60% of transmission failures trace back to overheated, degraded fluid, not mechanical defects. Replace TF every 30,000 to 50,000 miles, regardless of what the manual claims. Towing, stop-and-go traffic, and hot climates accelerate breakdown even faster. Fresh fluid prevents the $3,000 to $5,000 rebuild that kills most cars before 150,000 miles. Never power, flush a neglected transmission. Slow drain and fills avoid shocking the system with sudden pressure changes. Habit 15. The silent fuel system keeper stops a $1,200 mistake at the pump. That extra squeeze after the first click floods your evap system with liquid gasoline. The charcoal canister handles vapors, not raw fuel. When you overfill, liquid saturates the canister, breaking it apart internally. Charcoal particles migrate into lines and valves, triggering rough idle, hard starts, and check engine lights. EPA warnings confirm overfilling dramatically increases evap failures. Automakers will not cover this damage under warranty because it is driver error. The pump clicks to protect vapor recovery. Stop at the first click. The repair costs $400 to $1,200. Habit 14. The engine mount. Death Test catches hidden driveline stress. Worn engine mounts contribute to 20% of driveline failures. A $150 mount replaced early prevents a $1,000 cascade damage to axles, hoses, and transmission alignment. Test it yourself. Start the car. Keep your foot on the brake. Shift from park into drive. Watch for excessive engine movement or harsh cabin vibration. Repeat in reverse. Bucking or shaking means your mounts are failing. Bad mounts misalign the drivetrain, stretch hoses, crack exhaust flex pipes, and increase transmission shock during shifts. Replace them before the stress spreads. Habit 13. The smart warm-up routine breaks the cold idle trap. Extended idling increases engine wear by 2/3, according to the Department of Energy testing. Cold idling washes excess fuel down cylinder walls, dilutes oil, and accelerates internal damage. Modern engines need 20 to 30 seconds after startup. That is enough time for oil pressure to stabilize and circulate. Then, drive gently. Engines warm 40% faster when driving versus idling. Less friction, better combustion, longer life. Stop letting your car sit. Warm briefly, then ease into your drive. Keep these habits sharp because the next batch attacks systems that fail silently, while most drivers never check them. Habit 12. The coolant truth check reveals the acid eating your engine from inside. Coolant doesn't just prevent overheating, it stops corrosion. But over time, it turns acidic, loses its inhibitors, and starts dissolving aluminum components from the inside out. Studies show neglected coolant increases head gasket failure risk by 40% long before you see steam. The drain test takes 30 seconds. Open the petcock or lower radiator hose. Collect a sample. Healthy coolant looks bright and clear. Brown, rusty, or sludgy fluid means your system is overdue for a flush. Check for leaks before refilling. Look under the radiator, water pump, and hose clamps for green, pink, or orange residue. Early leaks cost $50 to fix. Ignored leaks warp cylinder heads in minutes. Replace coolant every 30,000 to 50,000 miles, even if the label claims 100,000. Staying ahead of overheating isn't maintenance, it's insurance against catastrophic failure. Habit 11. Fuel that fights back builds carbon 19 times faster. Cheap gasoline ages your engine faster than anything except skipped oil changes. Modern G, D, I engines spray fuel at 2,000 psi. Even tiny deposits disrupt the spray pattern, robbing power and raising fuel consumption. AA tested non-top-tier fuel and found it built 19 times more carbon in just 4,000 miles compared to top-tier brands. That carbon chokes intake valves, raises combustion temperatures, and shortens component life. The fix costs nothing extra. Run top-tier certified gasoline. Add quality injector cleaner every 3,000 to 4,000 miles. Cars like Hyundai, BMW, and Toyota show smoother idle and crisper throttle response after one proper cleaning cycle. Keep your fuel system razor sharp. The carbon you prevent today saves thousands in repairs tomorrow. Habit 10. The Shift Smart ritual stops transmission damage before it starts. Your gearbox is expensive, yet it's easy to destroy without realizing it. Hard shifts, quick slams into reverse, and rolling shifts from drive to park send shock loads through internal components. AMCO reports improper shifting contributes to 40% of early transmission failures. The damage accumulates invisibly until something breaks catastrophically. The ritual is simple. Come to a complete stop before changing direction. Pause 1 second before engaging reverse. Never shift into park while rolling. This tiny delay prevents parking pal grinding and protects clutch packs from shock loading. Honda Accords and Toyota Camrys reach 300,000 miles because owners shift gently instead of abruptly. Treat your gearbox like glass. Habit 9. Carbon Clean Revival restores the power G, DI engines lose by 50,000 miles. G, DI engines spray fuel directly into cylinders. The intake valves never get washed with gasoline like older engines. Sticky carbon layers form on valves, intake runners, and pistons, choking airflow and causing misfires. SAE studies show GDI engines lose 10% power and efficiency by 50,000 miles from carbon buildup alone. The fix isn't complicated. Proper carbon cleaning every 40,000 to 60,000 miles restores airflow and keeps combustion crisp. Walnut blasting, chemical cleaning, or trusted induction services unclog your engine's lungs. Audis, BMWs, Hyundais, and turbocharged vehicles benefit most. Rough idle, flat acceleration, or sudden miles per gallon drops are early warnings carbon deposits are creeping in. Habit 8. The parking power protector saves your transmission from silent destruction. Most drivers throw the car into park and walk away. That single habit destroys the parking pall, a small metal lock holding your vehicle's entire weight on inclines. When it fails, you're looking at $900 to $1,500 in repairs. The smarter routine takes 3 seconds. Engage the handbrake first. Let the car settle. Then shift into park. This transfers weight to the brake system where it belongs instead of punishing the transmission. Transmission specialists estimate this habit reduces pal wear by 70%. It works on every car, automatic, CVT, even EVS, with physical parking mechanisms. If you're finding these habits as powerful as I am, hit that subscribe button. The next batch protects electrical and computer systems that confuse even mechanics. Habit 7. Power line protection stops $900 in false diagnoses. Your car's electrical system balances on a few cables, yet these are the most ignored parts under the hood. Weak battery terminals and corroded ground cables don't just cause slow starts. They trigger chain reactions of electrical problems that look like sensor failures, ECU glitches, or transmission issues. ASE technicians report 30% of mystery electrical problems trace back to bad grounds, not bad parts. Drivers replace $200 sensors and $600 alternators when the real culprit was a $12 cable cleaning. The fix takes minutes. Pop the hood. Check battery terminals for white crust, loose clamps, or frayed grounds connected to the chassis or engine block. Clean them with a wire brush. Tighten properly. Apply dielectric grease to prevent corrosion. Do this every oil change. It keeps voltage stable, protects your alternator, and prevents hard starts in cold weather when batteries work hardest. A clean ground adds years to your alternator and starter, preventing repairs that cost $300 to $900. Habit 6. Throttle. Reese Magic fixes problems mechanics can't diagnose. Your throttle body learns your driving style, fuel trims, and airflow patterns. Over time, that adaptive data becomes flawed. You feel it instantly. Lazy acceleration, unstable idle, delayed throttle response, or annoying rev hang when you lift off the pedal. These aren't mechanical failures, they're software confusion. A throttle reset wipes bad habits clean and forces the car to relearn correct idle and throttle position. Nissan, Toyota, Honda, BMW, Ford, almost every modern brand benefits. A 2016 Toyota Camry owner reported smoother idle and faster throttle response immediately after a reset with 0 parts replaced. The reset takes 2 minutes. Turn the key to on, engine off. Press the gas pedal fully for 10 seconds. Switch off. Release. Start the engine and let it idle while it recalibrates. Habit 5. Coast. Like a pro, saves brakes and stops rotor warping. Most drivers brake hard at the last second. That habit destroys your braking system long before pads wear out. Every time you slam the brakes late, rotors spike above 500 degrees Fahrenheit, causing glazing, warping, and micro cracks. Consumer Reports found late brakers replace pads 40% sooner and rotors twice as often as drivers who ease off earlier. Coasting is mechanical magic. Lift off the accelerator 5 to 10 seconds earlier. The engine naturally slows the car while keeping brake temperatures stable. Hybrids like the Prius and Insight use this automatically. That's why their brake components last over 120,000 miles without replacement. Test it on your next drive. Start lifting early as you approach traffic, corners, or downhill stretches. The car settles instead of dives. The brake pedal stays cooler and firmer. Habit 4. The fuel filter test catches the silent flow killer. A fuel filter is tiny, yet it can choke your entire engine without making a sound. As miles stack up, rust, dirt, and sediment from the tank get trapped in the filter. Eventually, restriction becomes so severe, your engine can't get enough fuel under load. Cars with clogged filters hesitate when accelerating, struggle on hills, or feel like they're running out of power, even with a full tank. The strain overheats the fuel pump, a repair that costs $600 to $1,200. Test it during hard acceleration, like merging onto a highway. If the engine stumbles, jerks, or feels starved, your filter is restricting flow. Manufacturers recommend replacement every 30,000 to 50,000 miles. Dusty regions or older tanks need earlier changes. A $30 filter protects injectors, pump, and engine from thousands in repairs. These habits protect flow and voltage. The final 3 guard the systems that literally stop and ignite your engine. Habit 3. Life-saving brake fluid. Flush prevents the invisible boiling point collapse. Brake fluid is hygroscopic. It absorbs moisture from the air every single day. Within 2 years, moisture content reaches 3%, enough to lower the boiling point by almost half. When fluid boils under heavy braking, going downhill or stopping in traffic, you lose pedal pressure, braking power, and control. Studies from the National Highway Institute show moisture-contaminated brake fluid is a leading cause of ABS pump failures, often costing $1,000 to replace. The fluid looks fine, the pedal feels normal, but internally, corrosion spreads through brake lines and destroys the hydraulic system from the inside out. A brake fluid flush every 2 to 3 years prevents corrosion, protects the ABS system, and keeps pedal feel sharp and responsive. This isn't optional maintenance, it's life-saving protection most drivers completely ignore. Habit 2. The power of quality plugs protects your catalytic converter from meltdown. Cheap spark plugs drain power, fuel economy, and engine health long before you realize what's happening. Modern engines fire plugs thousands of times per minute. Even a slight drop in spark efficiency disrupts the entire combustion process. Studies show worn or low-grade plugs reduce fuel efficiency by 30%, trigger misfires, and overload the catalytic converter. One of the most expensive components in your car is the catalytic converter. A 2014 Toyota Camry owner ignored weak plugs for 40,000 miles and ended up with damaged coil packs and a $980 repair that could have been prevented with a $60 plug change. Stick to OEM grade or iridium plugs. Change them on schedule. Quality plugs restore smooth idle, crisp acceleration, lower fuel consumption, and protect your catalytic converter from the heat damage that destroys it. Cheap plugs cost you more later. Quality plugs save thousands. Habit 1. The quarter tank rule prevents fuel pump death by overheating. The bottom of your fuel tank is the harshest place for the fuel pump to work. When you regularly run below a quarter tank, the pump loses the gasoline it relies on for cooling. Heat spikes, wear accelerates, and the electric motor begins to strain. Industry teardown studies show pumps exposed to frequent low fuel conditions run up to 40 degrees Fahrenheit hotter. That's why they fail 30% faster in high-mileage cars. Once a pump overheats, tiny sediment at the bottom of the tank gets sucked into the fuel system, clogging injectors and weakening acceleration. Keeping your tank above 1/4 stabilizes pump temperatures, reduces fuel starvation on hills, and keeps debris settled where it can't hurt anything. This habit costs nothing, but protects a component that costs $600 to $1,200 to replace. These aren't tips. They're the mechanical insurance manufacturers don't profit from. Lock these in, and your car joins the 300,000-mile club. These habits quietly push ordinary cars past 300,000 miles. If you want your engine to outlast the warranty by decades, like this video, subscribe and comment your current mileage and which habit you're fixing first. Next video: fatal engine oil mistakes that destroy reliability.